Hello students. In order to maintain living processes, energy must be obtained from free energy must be obtained from the surroundings. And for autotrophic organisms like plants, the energy is obtained from sunlight. Whereas in heterotrophic organisms like animals, they obtain energy from food they consume, and this food is broken down during metabolism. Then it is oxidized, and energy is liberated. So high energy phosphates play an important role in transducing this energy. So what are these high energy rich compounds? The compounds which on hydrolysis liberates energy are called as energy rich compounds. These are again classified as high energy compounds and low energy compounds. High energy compounds, which are the group of energy rich compounds which on hydrolysis liberate more than 7 calories per mole on hydrolysis. Whereas low energy compounds are the compounds which on hydrolysis liberate less than 7 calories per mole. So, in high energy compounds includes phosphoenol pyruvate liberates minus 14.8 calories on hydrolysis, carbamoyl phosphate minus 12.3, CAMP minus 12.12, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate 10.3, acetyl CoA 7.7, ATP is converted to ADP and PIX minus 7.3. In case of low energy phosphates or low energy compounds, ADP is converted to AMP and phosphate. It is minus 6.6, glucose 1 phosphate minus 5, fructose 6 phosphate minus 3.8, glucose 6 phosphate is minus 3.3, glycerol 3 phosphate is at minus 2.2. So ATP is somewhere in the middle. So the ATP has a role. It can accept energy from the compounds which are at a higher energy level, and it can donate its phosphate group to the compounds at the lower side. These high energy compounds can be classified into 5 groups. This can be pyrophosphates, for example, ATP. Then acyl phosphate, example, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Then enol phosphates, example is phosphoenol pyruvate. Thioester. Thioester is acetyl CoA or acyl CoA, and phosphogenes, that is creatine phosphate or arginine phosphate. Now, out of these high energy compounds or energy rich compounds, thioester is the only compound which contain SH group. Rest all are containing phosphate groups. So, generally, these high energy groups are also called as high energy phosphates, and they play major role as transducer of energy. These phosphogenes are creatine phosphate, important in vertebrates, and arginine phosphate, which is important in invertebrate, is storage form of energy. So, creatine phosphate present in vertebrate muscle, spermatozoa, brain and heart acts as a reservoir of high energy phosphate group. Whereas arginine phosphate present in invertebrate muscles. These high energy compounds contain high energy bonds, and these bonds are anhydride bonds. Acid anhydride bonds, these bonds liberate energy on their breakdown. most common acid anhydride bond seen in these are phosphoanhydride bond, and these phosphoanhydride bond or high energy bonds are represented as Swiggle. This is representation of high energy bond. So ATP can be represented as AMP, Swiggle P, Swiggle P. So the first bond in ATP is ester linkage. It is not high energy bond. So AMP is not a high energy phosphate, but ADP contains one phosphoanhydride and ATP contains two phosphoanhydride bonds. Now coming to the structure of ATP. ATP has a unique role. It is at the ATP on hydrolysis gives ADP plus PI. Energy liberated is minus 7.3 calories per mole. It has a unique position. It can accept high energy phosphate groups from the higher energy rich compounds or high energy compounds or high energy phosphates. It can donate its high energy phosphate group to the compounds which are at the low energy level. So it is most important transducer in our system. Let us see the structure of this ATP. It contains adenine, then a ribose sugar, and then 3 phosphate groups 1, 2 and 3. First phosphate group is attached to ribose sugar with the help of ester linkage. It is not high energy bond. Second, this phosphoric acid attached to second phosphoric acid with phosphoanhydride bond. This is a high energy bond. Again, phosphoric acid attached to phosphoric acid, that is phosphate group attached to second phosphate group attached to third phosphate group, is also a phosphoanhydride bond. So ATP contains 2 phosphoanhydride bond or 2 high energy phosphate groups. It plays central role in transfer of energy and it functions as a complex of Mg2 plus magnesium. 2 negative groups are balanced with magnesium 2 positive. Now coming to synthesis of this ATP. ATP can be synthesized in 2 ways. You can write it like high energy phosphate, ATP and ATP. So ATP can be synthesized in 2 ways. One is biological oxidation. Most of this ATP synthesis in biological systems is due to oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation means phosphorylation taking place during oxidation, and this oxidation is stepwise transfer of electron in electron transport chain. So coupling of oxidation with synthesis of ATP is called as oxidative phosphorylation. Second is substrate level phosphorylation. So one is oxidative phosphorylation. Second is substrate level phosphorylation. So what is substrate level phosphorylation? Some high energy compounds or energy rich compounds produce ATP during their metabolic process. For example, in case of glycolysis, phosphoenol pyruvate is converted to pyruvate with the help of pyruvate kinase. It liberates ATP. The energy of the process phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate is trapped and a ATP is generated. Similarly, when 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is converted to 3-phosphoglycerate, ATP is generated. These two are substrate level phosphorylation in glycolysis. In case of citric acid cycle, succinyl-CoA, when converted to succinate, it is substrate level phosphorylation and the energy liberated is trapped as ATP. So, 3 substrate level phosphorylation. One is phosphoenol pyruvate, Second is 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate and third one is succinyl-CoA. ठीक है. 90% by oxidative phosphorylation, 10% by substrate level phosphorylation, out of which glycolysis, phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate, 1,3-BPG to 3-BPG. In case of TCA cycle, succinyl-CoA is converted to succinate. These are substrate level. Now the ATP can give this high energy phosphate group for various synthetic reactions. And these synthetic reactions are can be muscle contraction, active transport, nerve conduction, other endogenous processes, activations, conversion of low phosphate group into high phosphate groups. For example, glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 1,6-phosphate, glycerol is converted to glycerol 3-phosphate. So for synthesis of these compounds, low energy phosphate groups, also this ATP, high energy phosphate group of ATP is utilized. So glucose, glycerol 3-phosphate, glucose for formation of glucose 6-phosphate, etc. Now, we have seen phosphogenes are storage form of energy. So, this phosphate group, when available, it is stored as, in case of vertebrate, it is creatine is converted to creatine phosphate. It is storage form of energy in muscle, brain, heart and spermatozoa, and it liberates energy when supplies are depleted. Supplies of ATPs are depleted. This is about this cycle of continuous conversion of ADP to ATP and back ATP to ADP is called as ADP-ATP cycle, and this is very important for maintaining the various reactions, exergonic reactions and endergonic reactions of the body. As ATP is generated in various reactions and utilized in various reactions, it is just like our currency, and hence it is called as energy currency of the cell. Maximum energy generated is in mitochondria. 90% of this ATP is generated in mitochondria with electron transport chain by oxidative phosphorylation, and hence mitochondria are called as powerhouse of the cell. Oxidation is defined as removal of hydrogen atom or removal of electrons. Similarly, reduction is addition of hydrogen or addition of electron. So, when one molecule is oxidized, other molecules get reduced, because when one molecule is oxidized, electron is removed from it, but it is accepted by another molecule, so it is reduced. The molecule from which electron is removed is called as the electron donor, whereas the molecule which accepts the electron is called as a electron acceptor. Thus, there always exists oxidation reduction pair. Oxidation and reduction pair. The free energy change is proportionate to the tendency of reactants to donate or accept electron in this oxidation reduction reactions. So, oxidation is always coupled with reduction, because removal of electron is coupled with acceptance, and then free energy changes are proportional to tendency of reactant to donate and accept electron. So, in order to express the free energy, in addition to it expressed as delta G or change in free energy, it is possible to express as redox potential. And redox potential is always expressed as comparison to potential of hydrogen electrode. The potential of hydrogen electrode at pH 0 is 0. But for biological system, the redox potential is taken at pH 7.0, and hence the pH of hydrogen electrode at pH 7.0 is minus 0.42 volts. So more the negative redox potential, they have tendency to lose electrons, where more higher is the positive redox potential, they have tendency to accept electrons. So electron will flow from lower or negative redox potential to positive redox potential, and in electron transport chain the groups are arranged in increasing order of their redox potential, so that electrons are donated by first groups are accepted by second, and ultimately the last acceptor is oxygen, which is converted to water.